Hello, friends. Welcome to another fully seated yoga practice. I'm going to invite you to find any seat that feels comfortable but also stable, as we will be moving around quite a bit. And to know that this practice is all about kind of shifting the energy in you, around you, in the room. We will be moving the spine specifically each and every direction that the spine can safely bend and move and stretch. My hope is that this feels really refreshing and is a great practice to come back to anytime you're feeling stuck or just stiff or just kind of need a little 15-minute reset. That's what we're aiming for today. So go ahead and root your feet down towards the floor. If you're shorter like me, this may mean that you need to scoot a little bit towards the edge of your seat. If that's the case, you're also more than welcome to place a pillow or bolster or something behind your low back for a little extra stability, especially if your low back tends to get sore when you're seated really tall. We do want to start with a tall spine, so take a moment here to sort of lift your ribs up off of your hips, maybe lift your ears up off of the shoulders. And once you're ready to, I invite you to take about 6 extra deep breaths, exaggerated, sighing through the mouth. One more. And then begin to settle into a breath that feels a little more balanced. You're still welcome to exhale through the mouth if that is most comfortable for you. You can come to more of a traditional yoga breath, which is breathing in through the nose, little pause, breathing out through the nose, little pause, and then inhaling again. Doesn't matter to me. I just invite you to explore a breath that feels really satisfying in your own belly, in your own body today. And then we'll move with the breath right away. On your next exhale, round through the back, tucking the chin in towards your chest. With the inhale, lean the belly, the chest forward, maybe even lifting the chin upward. And we'll flow here with each exhale, rounding, curling in. With each inhale, lifting and reaching forward and upward. Some cat-cow breaths here to start. We'll take another 3 rounds, another 3 breaths here. There's never any rush. As your body is ready to, come back to a tall, neutral spine. And I invite you to notice if it's truly neutral. So we just leaned really far forward through the spine and we round really far back through the spine. Maybe find a middle point where it feels like you're neither forward nor backward, but perfectly centered between those two. Then I invite you to take your knees out a little wider. You're more than welcome to scoot even more towards the edge of your seat if that offers your hips a little more mobility here. And now we're going to move the spine side to side, a gentle swaying motion back and forth. There's no rush here. As you find a rhythm, I invite you, whichever side you're leaning to take that opposite elbow and kind of walk it up towards the ceiling. So maybe walking up the side of your ribs or over onto your low back. But begin to lift up and open up a little bit through the chest and the top shoulder as you find these side stretches. You're always welcome to pause if you notice that one side of the body is a little extra stiff today, or if the stretch just feels a little extra necessary on one side. Totally normal. You can set your pace and make those determinations. As we become a little bit more warmed up and comfortable with these side stretches, the next time that you lean to a side, I invite you to pause and to take whichever arm, shoulder is on top, and press the palm towards the ceiling. You're welcome to remain here, really extended, pressing through the palm, or to move with your breath, exhaling to drop the elbow back in. Big inhale to push the palm back up. Whatever you choose, 3 breaths more. As your breath is ready to, switch sides, starting with that lovely lean again. And as you're ready to, extending the palm, the fingers upward, maybe flowing with the breath. Big exhales to tuck the elbow in. Big inhales to reach back upward. Another 3 breaths. With your own breath. As you finish out the sequence, lift on up. I invite you to bring hands in front of the body. Fingers can interlock if you'd like, and flip the palms forward. Fingers do not have to interlace if that does not feel good on your knuckles or your hands for any reason. But I invite you to find a press here. And then we're going to continue to flow with the breath. Inhaling to lift up with hips slightly open here. You're more than welcome to find a gentle back bend. So as palms lift up, maybe rocking the belly and chest forward, exaggerating a bit of the curvature through the low back. And then exhale to drop hands back down and forward. You can see how the spine might round or re-straighten out. And continue with your breath here a couple rounds. Big inhales to sweep up. Exhales, round forward. One more. Then we'll take another big inhale and lift up. Exhale and begin to reach your right leg long. So we're moving into a bit of a warrior 2 or a warrior 1. So in warrior 2, hips would be open here, still towards the front of your space. If you prefer warrior 1, hips and shoulders might turn a little bit more towards your front bent knee. And you're also more than welcome to rearrange on your chair. One of my favorite things to do is to come out over the corner of a chair, especially if I'm choosing warrior 1. Just feels a little more stable for my hips. Whatever you find, take one more giant breath in to reach. Exhale, lean forward as though you could lean out way past your bent knee. Still pressing in to your long leg behind you. So pressing into both feet, both heels especially. We'll take one more big breath in here. And then exhale and let it go. I invite you to switch sides. So in any way that makes sense to you, in your space, whichever knee was bent, now that leg stretches out long to the side of the body. Whichever leg was straight, now that knee and heel tucks and bends in. As always, rearrange your hips as needed. They can face your front bent knee or can face the front of your space. So more of a warrior 2 or more of a warrior 1. Don't mind my dryer. Taking a couple deep breaths here, reaching upward. And then as you feel sturdy through both feet, especially the heels on the ground, take a breath or two to lean out over your bent knee. As your body is ready to, take another deep breath in, and then exhale, release. Begin to come out of the pose. I invite you to walk your feet back forward. And then we're going to crisscross through the legs here. Now please know that that's an option as we move into these next poses. So if it feels good to crisscross at your ankles, that feels good on your hips or low back, or if it even feels good to crisscross at your knees, feel free to do that. We're looking for a gentle hip stretch. Let's start by crossing right knee over the left, or right leg over the left. Then we'll find a twist here. So again, moving our spine each and every direction. As you're ready to, take a deep breath in, stretch arms out and wide. Exhale, twist to the right. So we're turning the belly button kind of out over the top, slightly lifted, slightly elevated right hip. Arms can continue to be out and wide. They can come to your body or to your seat. Whatever helps you feel sturdy in this moment. We're going to slowly shake the head no. So as the spine twists, slowly check your blind spot over one shoulder. And with eyes relaxed, maybe even with jaw unclenched, turn to look over the opposite shoulder. I invite you to do this 3 times. However fast or slow you need to move for this to feel good in your head and neck and shoulders. And as you finish out your own sequence, I invite you to untwist the whole upper body and then to rearrange the legs. Feel free to use your hands to help you crisscrossing, determining whether or not it feels best to crisscross left ankle over the right, or if it feels comfortable to crisscross at the knees. Either way, slight elevation of the left hip. As you feel settled here, take an inhale to reach outward first, and then I invite you as you exhale to find your twist. As we twist to the left, slowly shake the head no in super slow motion, 2 to 3 times. Looking over or towards one shoulder and then the other. As your breath and body are ready to, I invite you to unwind. And as we come out of this twist, last of all, we'll take the right leg long in front of the body and flex the right toes ever so slightly. This enables us to really straighten out through the back of the right knee, which also enables a slightly deeper hamstring stretch. If you're already feeling a stretch up the back of the right leg, pause here, breathe here, If you would like to lean forward a little bit, I invite you to lean forward a little bit, but it's just a little, hinging at the hips and keeping that spine really strong and tall as you lean. You're more than welcome to pause here. If you're ready to cool down, begin to near the exit of this practice, you can breathe slowly here. If you're still looking for a little bit of activation, I invite you to inhale and to kick your right toes up, maybe with arms up, and then exhale to drop the leg back down and find a little lean. Inhale to lift, exhale to lean. Again, whatever you choose, 3 breaths more this side. As you finish out a 3rd big breath, I invite you to let go. So now the spine can curl a little bit, maybe right toes relax, maybe your right knee isn't locked straight anymore, that's okay. Soften for a moment, and then with another deep breath, slowly roll up, tucking your right foot back in as you roll up, and then I invite you to also roll the shoulders back a couple times here between sides. Same thing, other side, you know where we're headed. So whenever you're ready to, you can flex your left foot, maybe find a bit of lean, or find a bit of momentum. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Three breaths more, wherever you're at, however you want to use them today. The next time that you lower, pause, and with an exhale, let go. Maybe the leg softens, maybe the upper body softens. Take a moment to sort of melt. And from the melt, slowly roll on up. Left foot steps in, shoulders get the opportunity to roll back. And with a deep breath in, once more, open arms out and wide. Exhale, pull palms in towards the chest and kind of flare the elbows outward, if that makes sense. So it's a big inhale to lift up. Exhale. I invite you to let your breath pick up pace 3 to 4 times here. One more. Big inhale. Exhale. Let arms drop. Let shoulders roll back. Come back to that spine that's neither leaning forward nor rounding back. And for a couple moments, notice what has shifted. Notice how you feel in your feet, all the way up your legs into your hips where you're seated. And then allow your awareness to crawl all the way through your torso and spine up into your shoulders. Maybe down your arms towards your fingers, through your neck and your throat, and up through the crown of the head. And if you'd like to end with a little visualization, you can visualize light or waves of energy or good intentions or positive energy from the earth or anything else that resonates with you. Envision that pulsing up through the body, from your heels to your hips, from your hips up to your arms, out of your hands, and out of the crown of the head. And I hope that even in this brief time together, you feel a little more refreshed. You feel like maybe the energy has shifted. Thank you for practicing with me.
Namaste.